the U.S. economy shrank in the first quarter of 2022.
Markets this year are going to get hit with a perfect storm.
Petrol has gone past $2 a litre, and now we're getting warnings that cups of coffee could go past $7.
Even some seemingly high-income professionals have trouble getting what they want.
I make over 3 times the federal minimum wage, and I cannot afford to live.
Now, all these things, they feel like they might be true, but here's the real killer. It's consumerism. It's eating away at your future wealth and you're not even aware of it. Every time that you make a seemingly small purchase, a new gadget, the latest subscription that you sign up for, or that extra cup of coffee, you're making a decision that affects your financial future. Because we live in a world that's designed to make us feel like we need more. Advertising, social media influencers, and even our friends and family, they all push us to spend. Everywhere we look, we're being bombarded with messages that are telling us to buy the newest iPhone, upgrade our wardrobe, or sign up for that streaming service that everyone is talking about. And this is called the hedonic treadmill. The more that we get, the more that we need to be happy. But that happiness is fleeting. You get the latest gadget, and a few months later, you probably realize that you're already eyeing the next one. Consumerism is keeping you chasing after something that never will truly satisfy you. And the problem is, this constant need to spend chips away at the money that you could be saving or investing. You think it's just $10 here or $50 there, but over time, these small purchases truly add up to a number that is wildly unbelievable. Now, have you ever stopped to think about how much of your income is going towards things that you don't even need? Think another new iPhone, a laptop, or a subscription service to Netflix, maybe Xbox, and all the games that have gone along with it over time. These all add up, but it's not just about the money that you are spending, it's about the money that you're not investing. Now, let's think about a MacBook, for example. This is my old MacBook. It's broken now, but yeah, I mean, it earned me a lot of money when I was using it, but at what cost did this come to me? So back in 2017, you could have bought this model. It's a 15-inch MacBook Pro for $2,400. And this sounds like a really decent investment, right? But here's the kicker. The share price of Apple at that time was just $36. So that means for the same $2,400, you could have bought 66 shares of Apple. And now fast forward to today, well, Apple's stock is now trading close to $230. So if you had invested that $2,400 instead of buying the MacBook, those 66 shares would now be worth well over $15,000. So instead of owning a MacBook, which probably is worth a few $100s now, but mine is broken, so literally zero, you could have had a sizable chunk of wealth in your brokerage account. Now, it doesn't stop there. This mindset of instant gratification is costing you even more when you consider all the upgrades and newer models you've bought over the years. So every time you upgrade to the newest iPhone, like I got 3 sitting right here, you're losing out on the potential gains you could have earned by investing the same amount. And this is called opportunity cost. You see, the money that you spend now on something that you want in the moment is money that you could have invested and watched grow so much more over time. Now, I want to dig a little bit deeper into why we're making these decisions, even when we know better. Now, the truth is, it's not entirely your fault. We live in a society that rewards instant gratification. You see something, you want it, and within a few clicks, it's yours. That dopamine hit from making a purchase makes you feel good, but it's temporary. Because according to a 2017 study published in the Journal of Consumer Research, people tend to overspend because we're wired to prioritize immediate pleasure over long-term rewards. It's why we choose the $5 coffee today, even though saving that $5 every day would be way more beneficial in the long run. The culture of convenience makes it easy to spend more than save, and we buy things to make ourselves feel better on a tough day, to reward ourselves for hard work, or simply because everyone else is doing it. Now, this emotional spending creates a vicious cycle where we're constantly needing to spend money to feel good in the short term while damaging our long-term financial prospects. And it happens every single day with every product that we purchase. Now, let's take a trip down memory lane, for example. Now, it's November of 2013. Xbox One just hits the shelf for $499. And you've been saving for months, and you finally muster up enough money to be able to get your hands on it. It's the best feeling ever. And you fast forward to today, well, my Xbox is collecting dust. You've likely moved on to the next gaming console or switched to a completely different hobby. But guess what's not collecting dust? Microsoft stock. In 2013, Microsoft stock was trading at just $34.85. If you'd taken that $499, you could have bought 14 shares of Microsoft stock. And instead, today, those shares would be worth over $5,800. And now that's just the beginning, because it's not like you only purchased the Xbox. There's video games, Skyrim, GTA, Call of Duty, FIFA, 2K, all of this mass of, the media's throwing at you, the games that you had to have. These all add up so much over time. So yeah, while you're enjoying this temporary thrill of a new video game or a gadget, you're missing out on the potential to take the reins of your financial future and grow your wealth in the stock market. Now, I want to reiterate that the point here isn't that you should never buy things for fun. It's that every dollar that you spend on consumer goods, it could have been invested instead. And that's where the true wealth building is happening. Let's take it one step further, because we all love to binge Netflix, free shipping with Amazon Prime, or the latest curated playlist that you can create on Spotify. These are the subscriptions that make life easier and more enjoyable. But these subscriptions are also very sneaky. They don't feel like a big financial commitment because the payments are spread out month to month. But those $10 or $15 monthly fees, they add up faster than you think. Let's look at Netflix, for example. Back in 2010, Netflix subscriptions were just $8 a month. If instead of subscribing to Netflix, you had invested that $8 each month into the stock, well, you would have spent around $1,500 over the years. But you would now own close to 26 shares of Netflix stock. And today, that's valued at over $17,000. And the same thing goes for your other subscription services. Amazon Prime. When Prime launched in 2005, it cost just $79 a year. But if you had invested that $79, you switched to the monthly plan, you're looking at over $40,000 today. Now, it's not just Netflix or Amazon. Think about all the other services that you subscribe to. Disney Plus, Hulu, Apple, Spotify, PlayStation Plus, the list is seemingly endless. Every time you sign up for one of these services, you're giving up the opportunity to grow your wealth through investing. Now, let's get real for a second. Over 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. But for most, that's a choice. I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but hear me out. On average, Americans spend $1,500 a month on discretionary spending, things that aren't necessities. We're talking about entertainment, takeout, streaming services, and other non-essential purchases. That $1,500 could easily be cut down with a few simple lifestyle changes, and the money that you could save could be invested instead. And the problem is that most people don't want to make the hard choices. They don't want to give up their weekly takeout or the latest iPhone upgrade. But if you're serious about building wealth, these are the kind of choices that you need to start making. It's not that living paycheck to paycheck is inevitable. It's that most people are prioritizing wants over needs. And that's where the cycle continues. Every time you choose to spend instead of save, you're digging yourself deeper into a paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying that you should never enjoy life or buy the things that make you happy. Life is meant to be enjoyed after all. But here's where it gets interesting. It's not an either or scenario. You don't have to choose between spending and investing. Now, what if you did both? Now, here's an idea. Every time you go to buy something you want, you should match it with an investment. Let's say you really want that new MacBook. Well, cool, go ahead, buy it. But here's the deal. Put the same amount of money away into Apple stock. You spend $2,400 on a laptop, invest $2,400 into Apple stock too. Over time, your investments will grow and the returns will offset the spending that you already made. And if you can save that initial $2,400 purchase, I guarantee that you can save to do it again. So start small. Maybe you buy coffee every single morning, and that's great. It's bringing you happiness, but double the price of your coffee every day and invest the difference. Trust me, 10 years from now, you're going to be thanking yourself. Now, I'm not talking just to talk because I've been there. When I was 20, I spent money on things like the latest gadgets, expensive meals, subscriptions, thinking it was no big deal. But what I didn't realize was that every single one of those purchases was a missed opportunity for me to build wealth. I could have easily had hundreds of thousands of dollars more in my investment portfolio just by making small, smart decisions over time. Every dollar I spent on the things I didn't really need was a dollar I could have invested and let grow. But now I'm kind of making that change. I've opened a new brokerage account and I'm challenging myself and you to invest the same amount of money that you're spending on non-necessities. So Let's say that I want to buy a new $70 game for my Xbox. I'm not just going to go out and buy it until I have $140 and I'll invest the other half. I'll be updating my progress regularly, and I encourage you to try this challenge with me. Start small, track your spending, and match it with investments. Over time, you're going to be amazed at how much you can accumulate. And at the end of the day, the choice, it all comes down to you. The next time you're about to drop money on something, I want you to ask yourself, is this going to make me wealthier? And if the answer is no, well then maybe it's time to rethink where all of that money has been going. I'm not asking you to give up all the enjoyable things in life, but if you do let consumerism run your life, it's going to keep you broke. The real wealth comes from making smart decisions today that set you up for your financial freedom tomorrow.